sit. So I have Nike sit at the gate. I close it all the way, so he's sitting, waiting. We're gonna bring him out. Kind of a tight little place here. So he's sitting and waiting. See how I step through first? Okay, gonna have him sit a little closer so you can really see him. You know how he really wants to go out for walks. So, but he has to sit and wait. You step through the boundary, he waits till you come back, you say, okay, and then on the outside you have him sit. Make sure he really waits. Make sure you're tapping and releasing like this. Make sure he really waits. Go, and he's free. We're gonna take a little walk. Make sure that you always keep this leash loose. He wants to go towards the cameraman. But make sure that you're never rushing. You never let him pull you around. If you handle the leash like this, it'll go pretty easy for you. If you choke up and if you try to restrain, try to force him to stay next to you on a tight leash, he's just gonna start pulling again like he used to. So keep that leash loose. We're gonna meet some dogs out here somewhere. The little dog, come. So we picked a little dog that we knew would jump around and get really excited. See how he is? Come. But if you call him to come to you, he's mildly interested, but he still doesn't even pull. Come. And you're probably just gonna have one opportunity to call him away, and you might like go behind a car over here or something, and they'll pass by, and then you'll go on your way around them. You see how quickly he loses interest? Now he's sniffing the ground. We're gonna do a couple more recalls with this little dog. He's gonna pee on that pile of rocks there. So we're getting really close. Come! Let's call him back to you. He's interested, and that dog actually is not great with other dogs, so if he went over to sniff her or something, she might not like it. But you see, we're intentionally getting too close and come, instead of just going away and passing by. We're staying in each other's proximity way longer than you would normally. Normally you just the first time come and you go somewhere else, but I'm just showing you what you can do with a stranger dog. Come, and how he gets. Good. And if you were to do this, you had another person with a dog, come, that was standing there. You make him better by just continuing to call him back away from, come, distractions like a dog. Good, and that becomes the pattern over time. Instead of going over there, he knows he turns right back to you. And you see how it just, over time, maybe I called him back to me 6 or 8 times, come. It gets easier, and his interest in that other dog just goes away if you handle him this way. And every time that you do this with, see, now he's looking at some people over there. Like he's really lost interest. And it seemed to me that he was more excited, come, by little dogs. Good, so I chose a little dog to show you this. But you see, it's always the same thing. Come, left hand leash, right hand reward, good. Come. And you could actually make him tired doing this as well. This is great exercise for him. Come, keep doing it. Good. And then let's say that another dog, this is a dog he doesn't know, he's never met before. Let's say that they stay there, or you want to practice with a dog. Sit, have him sit. Okay, but have him sit with the distraction to the side. And you know he's got a funny little sit because I guess he has a old hip injury. That's okay, that's his version of sit. He stays there. Let's go, bud, look. Give him a treat, good. And then you can, okay, practice it down as well. Down. He may not feel like going down, but still, if you tell him to go there, he's got to go there. Might have to help him with your left foot just a little bit. He doesn't feel like doing it. But see how you should walk around with that dog, go back and forth. Get some movement going, because that makes it harder for him to focus on me. Nope. Nope. Make sure that he doesn't touch your hand. Good. He really waits respectfully until you put the reward there on the ground. And just like this. No. Nope. Good. So now he's really focusing on doing this with me and ignoring that little dog. Nope. Good. It's just a great little exercise to do if you're able to do it. Okay, but I think in your situation, you do this on the sidewalk when the dog is on the other side of the street, because you have these long sidewalks where you can see where somebody's coming from very far away. So just make sure on your side, nobody's coming, put them in a sit stay, a down stay, so that to the side is across the street where the dog is walking on the other side of the street, and do the down stay and the sit stay like I just did. This is a more extreme example where the dog is just 8 feet away, 10 feet away, but you see how it works well. And if you do this kind of stuff, just use the training. We're just using sit down and come, and in a way that makes him start to become immune to other dogs on the street. Good boy. And now he doesn't care. Now he's over it. Good boy. Sit. Practicing Nike's sit stay and all his other stuff here in a public place, just to show you that he can actually do these things where in the presence of a lot of distractions. And we know that he is an easily distractible dog, but he's learned his sit stays and everything else really well. You see, that's a big distraction to sit through as that passes by. When you're going to reward him, walk back next to him, eye contact, straight down, good, as he takes the little reward. And we're just using these little tiny dog treats. It's not about giving him a large amount of reward. It's just really about the taste. If he pops up before you release him, because he was thinking, oh, now is when I get released. And that will happen. He'll anticipate, most dogs will, now we're done because this is the way it always goes. So I do practice maybe having him wait a little bit longer. He's waiting to be released like this. He's on your left with your right hand. You tap his chest and say, go, and then he's free. So that's the way I always release him, and he's doing really well with distractions walking past him. So let's go practice in another spot. So we're going to do a down. And notice how, because we're in a really busy place and he's really distracted, I helped him. I said it at the same moment that I just eased him down. I didn't really have to force him down. I just probably placed just a tiny bit of pressure on the leash. When you're going to reward him, you're going to come in like this with the little reward. Make sure that he doesn't take it out of your hand and he doesn't touch your hand. He's got to be respectful. No. If he does that, you just pull back and say no. He needs to really wait. Nope. Like this. See how he's waiting? Nope. He's waiting. Good. And that's so much of this practicing the downstay is how you deliver the reward and how he accepts the reward. I'll do it again, one more time. He's waiting, turns away, good. Make sure you're really careful about that calm delivery of the reward. And also you can always practice when he's in a down, you can practice the walk around downstay, of course. And then the release is back next to him. Okay, have him stand up, you say sit, always release him from a calm sit stay, out of a down, exactly the way I just did it. With your right hand, pat his chest and say go, and he's free. When I'm practicing the recall with Nike, I always walk in the same way, left hand leash, my hand is through the loop. I have the right hand that's free for treats. Come, just to get him out of these people's way. I'm going to call him away. Good. This is a great place to practice because there's so much going on and people coming from all different directions. And of course, we'll also be doing this with other dogs as well. But you always want to back away and have the target, just like you just saw me do. Come. And for a while, you want to have a treat in here. Good. Just like that. You see what happened? His nose touched it. He got the little treat. At the same moment, I grabbed the leash with my left hand. You always want to make sure that you have him when he comes to you so he doesn't start getting used to grabbing the treat and running off. And that's a lot of dogs will do that. So if he doesn't have a leash, come. Hook your hand under this cloth collar that he has. Just make sure that he's always used to, when he comes to you, he stays there with you, he gets the treat, and he's very used to feeling that under his collar or you having the leash like that. And always backing away, because when you back away, the dog is, come, drawn to rush to you because of the way you're doing it. Good. And then if you practice that so many times, when you don't back away, come, good, he'll still come rushing back to you because of the way you practice over and over again. So those are really important things to keep practicing when you practice your recall. And you could just practice this in your backyard, in your house, in a long hallway, you know, any place. Just always practice when you practice on a leash, because the leash is the way to gently but firmly reinforce that recall. And if all he knows is hundreds of times in a row, he always responds to that recall, he's way more likely to come your way when there's no leash and also no treat. Because if you use this, pretend you have a treat, he doesn't know this is empty. So always use this and practice with a treat, because when there's no treat, he'll still come to it. Okay.